With the world slowly moving through large social, economic, environmental, and technological megatrends, how is the FM industry adapting? We explore this with Roshan Deshmanya, account manager at CBRE, who has spent the last 8 years leading diverse teams and developing client solutions within the built environment sector. Roshan has been recognised for his thought leadership within the industry and has a keen interest in workplace experience, technology and innovation, and sustainability. We join him to discuss the elements of true leadership, the various changes to FM industry, and get his thoughts on the future of work. What have been your career highlights?
Firstly, thanks for having me on. Looking back at my career so far, I've had the good fortune of working for a number of organizations in both the APAC and EMEA regions. I guess each phase of my career has offered highlights in their own right, but one that comes to mind is leading the team that helped a corporate real estate firm achieve its 5-year sustainability targets. Very rewarding considering we came in halfway through the period, and also good knowing our consistent hard work saved thousands of tons of CO2 emissions. In recent times, however, it's hard to go past receiving the PFM Young Leader Award last year, having been acknowledged for my contribution to the industry and thought leadership.
How have your experiences improved your leadership skills?
I think the most important lesson I've taken away from my experiences is to always strive to lead authentically. Authentic leaders are self aware, they promote openness and foster an environment of safety and trust, which allows everyone to bring their whole selves to the workplace. Now, in the past, I've personally found authenticity in leadership difficult to achieve because there's heaps of examples of how other people lead and what good leadership looks like, but there's no examples of what's authentic to you until you get there. It's funny that something so basic as being yourself starts to become harder as you gain responsibility and scope. So I've created mental touch points in the course of my daily activities that remind me of myself and my values so I can reflect on my recent actions and think about how I want to lead during the next part of the day. As a leader, I'd like to think I consistently display who I am as a person and how I feel about my team's performance, which ultimately builds honest relationships.
Why is it important to have diversity in senior leadership teams?
According to research conducted by BCG, companies with above average diversity on their leadership teams generate increased revenue from new products, 19 percentage points more than companies with homogenous leadership teams. And the main reason for this is simply because different people think in different ways. I think in this VUCA world where we're seeing organizations grow at exponential rates, the need to innovate has never been more crucial, and I see the championing of diversity at board and exec level as the most important ingredient in the recipe of business success. In 2020 especially, I'm pleased to be seeing our industry take a much stronger position on diversity. It's been great to see diversity represented at board level and organizations embracing all individuals regardless of their demographic and celebrate the value their diversity brings to their businesses and the impact they can create. In simple terms, if you're hiring the same types of people, you'll just have the same ideas being brought to the fore. It's that classic cookie cutter effect. And those weaker levels of creativity and innovation that come as a result means that you're not just standing still, you're actually falling behind in this volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous market and economy.
How can leaders contribute to creating a more inclusive workplace?
In my experience, I've found that generally organizations have a good understanding of diversity, but in my opinion, it's the inclusivity part that needs more focus and continued focus moving forward. In relatively simple terms, diversity is the demographic makeup of your workforce, and inclusion is how good the environment that enables diversity to thrive is. The goal of inclusion is to make everyone feel comfortable and accepted for who they are, and feel like they can share their opinions and thoughts without any hesitation. So then, as leaders, it comes back to creating an environment of safety and trust. How can leaders do this? everything starts with awareness and education. Our teams need to understand the whats and the whys so that we can collectively answer the hows. So, keeping the conversation consistent, I believe, is the first step. This will also help teams to recognize unconscious bias and celebrate our differences, which is especially important within the FM industry as we come from all walks of life and vocations. Actively listening to our employees is key as well, so we can better understand their team's experiences and challenges at work, which will then allow us to develop the right goals and track our progress against them.
What's your approach to workplace well-being?
In my business unit at CBRE, we're holding regular engagement check-ins with our teams to ensure we're doing everything we can as a management team to drive happiness and engagement in the workplace. This has actually led to some interesting well-being related findings, especially during the COVID pandemic where we've had staff on periods of furlough and working from home. In order to address these challenges related to isolation and disconnection, we've put together a charter of well-being initiatives which are purely about what they want and what would make their work lives more enjoyable and fulfilling. Things that range from monthly breakfasts and lunches so the team can unwind and have a laugh, to providing them with employment journeys so they can choose their development pathways and shape their careers within the business. Again, I think listening is key here because every team wants and needs different things at different times. And by addressing these, we're on a better path to enhancing their sense of belonging and purpose.
How will the evolving future of work change workplace experience?
Over the past few years, workplace experience has become a real passion area of mine. Our industry's well and truly moved forward from the pure management of buildings and facilities towards the provision of a whole suite of workplace services. And so it's important to consider how people experience those services and the journey they take through workplaces. And due to the current COVID pandemic, we're seeing another shift again, which changes the trajectory of the future of work. As employees continue to work remotely, there is a clear preference to use their office days more collaboratively to connect with teams and stakeholders. This naturally brings its own challenges as we've deliberately made desks unavailable and implemented one-way systems to distance people in the workplace. So as we see our clients reduce their office footprint and turn desk space into larger collaboration zones so people can connect safely, I think we'll see employees seek a slightly different workplace experience. And as FM professionals, I think one of the things that will become important is the need for our workplace experience initiatives moving forward to be built around how we can make people connect and collaborate as easily and as safely as possible.
What innovations do you think will have the biggest impact on FM in the coming years and why?
Speaking of changes, I think we're also on the cusp of another shift as we see the benefits of IoT and AI being demonstrated through implementation. These technologies are also becoming more affordable, so we're seeing the business cases becoming more attractive to our clients. Something that's gaining momentum in the industry is predictive maintenance as opposed to preventative and reactive. Thanks to analytics and diagnostic technologies, we can now detect plant room equipment faults before they occur, so we can act early and reduce bottlenecks and downtime for workplaces. In some of our buildings, we've also installed smart sensors and beacons that help with a variety of things, from controlling HVAC equipment to tracking occupancy and usage levels of desks, meeting rooms, and other workplace facilities, to identifying risks such as drop in air quality or noise pollution. This increased data is giving us better insights into our portfolios and better decisions, which results in reduced operational costs, enhanced forward planning, and better risk management, which ultimately enhances employee experience, performance, productivity, and well-being.
What are your key focuses to achieve sustainability goals?
Sustainability is actually where I started my career in the built environment, and it's something I feel passionately about and something I consider before I undertake or engage any piece of work. For me, the considerations can be broken down into four key areas, being utilities, so energy, water, gas, and how well we're optimizing our operations and processes to reduce our consumption of these resources. Next is waste. I've found many clients are implementing zero to landfill policies and using the three R's for waste management, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle. The third is products, which ranges from the processes and materials used in manufacturing to how harmful certain cleaning agents can be. And lastly, it's logistics and transport, which relates to how our teams and workforces and service partners travel. From a team and organizational perspective, again, nothing can be achieved without the right culture and goals. And that's where sustainability champions come in to ensure best practice is being promoted regularly and that we're on track to achieving our sustainability targets.
How can the FM industry attract and nurture more young talent?
Facilities management can be one of those industries that you fall into when you're younger, starting in a grassroots role such as an engineer or receptionist. But there's some really great work being done to elevate this agenda and turn FM into an industry of choice. An organization that I'm a part of that's doing some fantastic work in this space is the Emerging Workplace Leaders. Our unifying mission is to create a community and platform that attracts young talent to the industry and enables them to connect and accelerate their personal and professional growth. And we can achieve this through events, award recognition, and sector collaboration. With regards to nurturing young talent within the industry, I think we can be doing more to show them where they can take their careers and regularly touch base on their aspirations. There's some incredible stories I've heard around directors starting their careers in grassroots roles. And I think sharing these stories, particularly with young people, and showing them how they can get there and supporting them through their development plans will go a long way to keeping talent within the industry.